Okay, I think we'll do this. So welcome everyone to 15 minutes of positivity. Those of you that are, for whom this is the first session, we meet every day at noon, Monday through Friday. And we literally just spend about 15 minutes. So it's gonna be another 14 minutes where we practice together. And the things that we're practicing are the types of exercises or activities that have been shown to help curate a more equanimous mind and just a general resilience when it comes to our mental and emotional states of being. So today is Thursday, so we like to do Thankfulness Thursday. I just want to remind us quickly about why gratitude and thankfulness is such an important aspect of our mental well-being to cultivate. It has to do with this negativity bias. So we all have an evolutionary predisposition to negativity, meaning when, let's say I have 20 people that give me some kind of feedback on a talk or on a practice that I lead. 18 of them might be amazing, but there's 2 of them where they say, Oli didn't explain things well, he's not very good at what he does, and so on. So which ones do you think I'm going to be paying attention to? It's those 2, right? And the reason for that is because we can say negativity is like Velcro for the brain. So we have this natural predisposition to assume the worst and to go for the negative explanation and really fixate on those things that just don't match our sense of positivity. On the flip side, we say positivity is like Teflon. So those 2 great, reviews or pieces of feedback that I may have gotten might be saying wonderful things about me that could be really useful for me to learn and integrate. And yet my mind is going to have this tendency to just gloss over it. It doesn't stick. So we say positivity is like Teflon. And the ratio is about 1 to 5. So for every 1 negative thing that our brain latches onto, we need about 5 equivalent positive experiences like that to counteract that and get us back into equilibrium where we feel like we're doing okay. This is based on some really interesting relationship and marriage research done by a guy called John Gottman. So the antidote to that is, or one of the antidotes is gratitude. And gratitude, quick reminder here, gratitude is not something that we just quickly jot down on a piece of paper and say, oh yeah, I feel grateful for the food that's on my plate, or I feel grateful for the fact that my car started up. We really want to feel gratitude. So it's really important to shift it from the intellectual into the embodied space. And it's an awareness that we have in the moment. I know that I'm feeling grateful in this moment because I can feel it in my body. It's something that registers in my body, usually my belly, my chest, my hands, or my jaw. And it's an awareness that I've somehow benefited from something. So someone or something has done something that is benefiting me, and I know in that moment that it is happening because I can feel it in my body. So really important to move gratitude out of this just intellectual kind of quick, oh, I wrote down my 3 gratitudes this morning versus, maybe just doing 1 at a time, but really dropping into it and really trying to feel it. So today I want to introduce this concept of gratitude as being a doorway to the present moment. And what I mean with that is, I'll give you an example. I called my healthcare provider. I got new health insurance, and they got set up with the app and this and that. And they said, here's your new primary care physician. Call them to get set up and make an appointment. So I did it, and I was on hold, and then I got hung up on, and you guys know the drill, like the usual sort of phone administrative thing. And I finally, after 20, 30 minutes, got through to someone who then was sort of incredulous and said, this is an orthopedic surgeon, he's not a primary care physician. How on earth did you get our number? Why would Blue Cross Blue Shield say that to you? So long story short, in that moment, I felt understandably annoyed, irritated. I felt like they'd been wasting my time, still hadn't solved what I wanted to do. So I got all wrapped up in my mental, woe is me, and this is a bummer. And then I remember this idea of, wait a second, Oli, what is it that you do have in this moment that you can feel grateful for? And I realized that the fact that this had happened to me was a doorway into the present moment gratitude, that here I am. The worst thing that's happening to me in this moment is I'm sitting in my chair, I'm on the phone, I'm in my beautiful home, I'm safe as far as I know my kids are safe in this moment. And there's this gushing or this deluge of positivity that flowed in. And at the end of the day, when I hung up the phone, I was actually grateful for the fact that this didn't go the way that I wanted to, because it activated this doorway to gratitude in the present moment. So let's try that together. So I invite you to close your eyes for a second and notice yourself sitting in your chair or in your car, and get in touch with the simplicity and the peacefulness of this very moment. The simplicity is you're just sitting. We're sitting together on this call. You can put your feet flat on the ground and maybe your hands in your lap to establish contact. Just notice in this present moment, there's a simplicity and a peacefulness, and it can actually activate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for this present moment that may not have been there before. And I can take it even further. I can imagine us, for some awful reason, trading places and suddenly be sitting in a trench somewhere in the Ukraine, being a young Russian kid or a young Ukrainian kid, scared, terrified, lonely. And frankly, their ability to sit on a call with us right here, right now, in this present moment, would probably be the answer to their prayers. And so just noticing how, through no real doing of our own, we are lucky and we can feel grateful for this present moment right here, right now, because it could be so different. It is so different for literally billions of other humans on planet Earth in this moment. Their reality is drastically different than ours. And allow that to be a gateway, that gratitude, allow that to be a gateway to the right here and now, to notice that no matter what's going on in our lives, in this moment, we're safe, we're breathing, we're together. And you can actually use this same process or the same technique. I want you to imagine or maybe recall a recent interaction that you had with someone that maybe felt frustrating or annoying, kind of altercation. And don't pick the most intense altercation that you've had, but just pick something that was, where it just felt filled with friction. It didn't feel good. I want you to drop back into that memory, see the other person, maybe remember where you were, what was being said. Feel the energy in your body, the frustration, the annoyance, the hurt, whatever it might be. And then I want you to flex your gratitude muscle in that moment and just ask yourself, how could the situation be much worse than it is? And how lucky am I that this irritation, this altercation is the extent of the negativity that I'm experiencing in this moment? Doesn't mean you're letting them off the hook. Doesn't mean you're being a doormat or just letting people walk all over you. But it is reclaiming a sense of power over the narrative that you have in any given moment over the situation that you're in. And instead of feeling like a victim that just has no power or simply needing to react to everything this other person does or says and have them completely dictate your state of mind, and I want you to imagine yourself noticing what you do have in that moment. You've got your choice, got your values, you've got your capacity to decide whether or not you want to continue to interact with this person, take a break, and pick it up again later. You feel gratitude for the fact that that is part of your truth in that moment. And in my experience, it's easier said than done, meaning it's easier to try to, or it sounds easy to try to do that in the moment. And so really the key thing is to practice. Like anything, if we want to get better at it, you want to get good at being able to be with people that are frustrating and irritating and actually not get swept along with it, then this kind of gratitude practice is something to do so long as you're not in those situations. So the more you can drop into these kinds of memories and ask yourself, what is there for me to be grateful for about myself or this situation that I'm forgetting, the easier this becomes and the less power other people have over you, the less frustrating they become. Maybe in closing, setting the intention for the rest of the day to see if you can stay connected with a sense of gratitude for what you do have in your life in this moment, and see if you can hold on to that for the rest of the day and just notice how it influences or changes or impacts any other interactions you have with people or situations where things don't go your way. See if you can hold on to this, like, yeah, this might not be working out the way that I want it to, but I'm also not going to forget that I have all of this going for me in my life in this moment right here, right now. And see how that affects your interaction and your state of mind. So let's go ahead, take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, go ahead, open your eyes and just take a brief moment and kind of look at all the other faces. I don't know what you guys can see on screen, but I see a whole bunch of people on this call, and just feeling a ton of gratitude that we had, a moment to share this together. And I hope this was a maybe a useful or a different way of viewing gratitude, maybe in a bit of an unorthodox way, but I hope it fuels you for the rest of the day. And yeah, we'll plan on being here tomorrow. I think we're going to do some compassion or self-compassion. So if that's interesting to you, sign on up at noon again tomorrow, and hope you have an awesome rest of your day. See you then.